Dovid Efune is editor-in-chief and CEO of the Algemeiner, one of those publications, joining us from Miami. Dovid, thanks very much for being with us. So tell us why it was important for you and these other publications, specifically at this point, to come out with this statement.
Well, first of all, just so you know, it's almost every major publication in the United States. And I want to offer a very special thanks to my colleague Jane Eisner at The Forward, who worked together with me on this very, very closely. I think the message was very, very clear. This is not a time for politicization. There are lots of opportunities for politics, for us to have it out, as aggressively as is necessary. Now is just not the time. And we see groups that are jumping to take advantage and to score political points in the process. There is a community in mourning. There are individuals that need help and support. Now is the time to unify against hate and against the kind of hate that leads to this tragedy, to help and support the victims, and not to turn this into an opportunity for deeper divisions in our country and in our society.
Well, Dovid, explain. You just gave thanks for example, Jane Eisner of the Forward for signing this letter. But on the day after the shooting, she penned a very strong editorial attacking what she said were individuals and groups in the American Jewish community that were empowering Donald Trump. So clearly, we are all Jews. They are not all together on the issue of Donald Trump's role here.
Well, I think the big issue is this, and that is, of course, our differences are going to remain, and we mentioned that in the editorial. The differences don't go away, and there are very strong differences that remain in terms of culpability and certainly the role of the president in all of this. But the point is that we have to be able to come together, and we have to be able to have these dialogues in a civil fashion. So the idea was, yes, of course, our own outlets are going to carry very, very different perspectives in every other aspect. But for us to be able to say that in one aspect we can come together and do something in unison and share one message that's a joint message, that's what this was all about.
Dovid.
And I think the effect that it's had and the feedback that we've had from this so far has shown that that's been uplifting to the community, and that's what's needed at this time.
I'm curious then as to your reaction to what we saw from the president today. A moment ago, we just read out that tweet. A lot of criticism that he is in saying falsely saying there were very small protests, that he didn't see any of them, that he is making the visit about himself rather than about the tragedy and the anti-Semitism behind it.
Look, Donald Trump is Donald Trump, and I'm not here to praise him, and I'm not here to defend him, and I'm not here to attack him either. That's it's a completely separate discussion, and we all know that one of the things that he is not is smooth and suave. He's ham-handed in about how he does just about anything. But I think the most important voice in all of this is not one group on the right or one group on the left, the people that say that he's welcome and that he's not welcome. The most important voice is the rabbi who is burying 11 of his congregants over the coming days. I don't know what his politics are, but the idea that he has been thrust into the midst of a political argument as a consequence of this discussion about the president's role is just appalling. He should be able to focus on comforting those in need, ministering to the families, and I think his approach was right. In the end of the day, our entire community has to always have respect for the office of the President of the United States and accept solidarity when it's offered and an outreach hand when it's offered.